You know the Mars theory?
That there's aliens on Mars?
Nah, there's a theory that Mars was the original planet that humans were from.
Okay.
Then something happened that we all had to fly to another planet and live on. There used to be like civilization that lived on Mars. Now back this. On Mars, there's an element on the periodic table called xenon. Xenon on Earth is only found, this is crazy, is only found after a nuclear explosion.
No.
Oh shit, that's not even the sicko mode button.
I said no. What the hell?
And it goes hand in hand now. What if on Mars there was a nuclear warfare, destroyed the whole planet, but people were able to escape just in time, landed on Earth, and they had to restart from nothing.
So we are the aliens.
We're the aliens.
What the hell?
It's real shit. Like, this element's called xenon. It's prominent after nuclear explosion.
The color blue was never written down.
Weird.
In like all this, like blue was never a word.
Weird.
They didn't have a word for that color?
No.
Okay.
When they would describe like the ocean and stuff like that, they would describe it as like green.
What?
And and so
Weird.
the theory is if you can't connect a word with a color, can you not see that color? Because your brain, and so they did an experiment.
That's crazy.
They did an experiment in this tribe somewhere in Africa. It was like the Bush people, and they also have never heard the word blue. And so they gave this graph, and it's this graph of like 12 squares, and they're all green, right? And then there's one that's like a bluish green, very different. Like all of us would be like, oh yeah, that one's different. And they had these people look at it, and they were staring at it, and it took them so long to figure out which color was different because they don't know what to look for in the blue. They're like, find the one that's different. It was weird.
Yeah.
And then they showed
I keep trying to tell y'all that there's more to the story than they tell us. In TikTok, this video is fake.
Do not mess with the Gullah Geechee. They'll actually put a stone or block in her mouth to keep her from talking. There was actually books written where they were so frightened of them, the women especially, because they practiced this communal protectionism that if a sound that came out of her mouth, it meant your death. And so when we say, it is not a game, it is just a knowing of how the universe works better than some people to a certain extent.
And do you want to know what's kind of funny to me? Y'all know that tongue clicking? That was an actual language, a very, very high vibrational one. It is a language in South Africa that is going extinct. Why? Because they were killed by colonizers for speaking that language. And she also states that they would get beaten up by white men if they were caught speaking their own language. I really want y'all to recognize how powerful speaking is. Like I say, if you ever just hug somebody and they talk, you can hear their voice in their chest. If you touch the back of somebody who's talking, you can feel the vibration going through their body. Your body is listening to you. Do you know how powerful we had to be for them to be able to want to be on the verge of killing us, putting rocks inside of our mouths so we couldn't speak? Y'all gotta recognize that creating vibration within your mouth is very powerful. The English language that we speak doesn't even create any type of vibration to enhance the rate of our communication. This is the lowest form of speaking. Just a little hint though. Y'all stay dangerous. More information on my YouTube.
Darkest conspiracy theories. The Earth virus theory. This theory states that the Earth is a living organism, and we, you and I, the humans, are the virus. The Earth grows plenty of free food, and every animal seems to balance and coexist on Earth in sort of a circle of life. For instance, bees pollinate crops, moving from one plant to the next, fertilizing each plant. It's beneficial. Even though they're taking pollen, they're still being beneficial. But humans, we seem to not benefit the Earth at all. We're more destructive. We clear rainforests, kill the ocean with our plastics, puncture giant holes in the ozone with our chemicals and fuels, and we cause man-made climate disasters. We don't seem to coexist. But before I continue, question time. If aliens were about to destroy the planet, and one came up to you, they chose you, and said, if you show us 2 things on Earth of why we shouldn't destroy this planet and kill you all, what 2 things would you show them to save the Earth? Let me know down below. But anyways, think about the human body. When we're sick, our body creates antibodies to kill off the viruses. That's exactly what the Earth does to us, creating earthquakes, droughts, tsunamis, and other natural disasters. Let's face it, we're destructive in nature. And while a tiny bit of us do try to help the planet, the majority of us selfishly harm it. Maybe we are the virus.
Perspective. The one number I always have in my mind is at the Large Hadron Collider at CERN. The protons go around the ring which is 27 kilometers in circumference, and they go around at 99.999999% the speed of light, so close to the speed of light. At that speed, distances shrink by a factor of 7,000, and so that ring is something like 4 meters in diameter to the protons.
Whoa.
So, according to laws of physics, if you can build a spacecraft that goes very close to the speed of light, you can shrink the distance to the Andromeda Galaxy, and therefore the time it takes to get there, by an arbitrary amount, actually. The closer you get to the speed of light, the more you can shrink it. And so you can make those 2 million light years. You could traverse across that distance in principle in a minute, according to physics. However, the downside is that you couldn't come back to tell, if you came back to the Earth at that speed to tell everybody what you'd found, at least 4 million years would have passed on the Earth.
Oh boy.
So
Did this song from 1969 predict the events of 2024? This theory says yes. So back in 1969, there was a song that was released called Age of Aquarius, Let the Sun Shine In by a band named The Fifth Dimension. In their lyrics, they speak very specifically about what the Age of Aquarius is and what will happen during the Age of Aquarius. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Age of Aquarius just began on January 20th of 2024. The band detailed that during the Age of Aquarius, there will be harmony and understanding, sympathy, trust abounding, and no more falsehoods or lies. And at the very beginning of 2024, the Age of Aquarius, this is already happening. There has been news about aliens and extra-dimensional beings, billionaires and millionaires coming out and being candid about their preparation for the end of the world by building bunkers. Big governments and individuals being exposed for lying, cheating, stealing, and hurting other people. And most importantly, news about World War III has been coming out day after day, warning us that something big is about to happen and that our world will change forever. Now, although some are hopeful for the Age of Aquarius, others are actually very fearful of it because some believe that the world will end during the Age of Aquarius, which is right around now. Now, whether you believe in astrology or if this band was right or wrong, none of that matters. We do see that something is changing and happening in our world right now, and we have to be prepared for it. So are you prepared for the Age of Aquarius and what's to come? Tell me what you think in the comments.
I don't know if you heard of, you know what the James Webb telescope is?
Yes, it's a big
telescope that they put in space or whatever to like see into like deep space. So supposedly they picked up something that they don't know what it is.
Oh, great.
All the people on the internet saying, oh, it's a alien armada. The reason why is, so it looks like a cube and they're thinking it's like a big ship or like a bunch of clustered ships coming towards Earth.
Oh, it's coming towards us.
Yeah, it's coming towards Earth. It was on one trajectory one way and then it suddenly turned towards us. And now it's coming towards us. Like, it's like not natural. It's not like no asteroid where it's just going in a straight line. They said it could either come in a couple of years or in a couple of weeks.
Couple of years.
Yeah.
Or a couple of weeks. What a time frame.
So supposedly the whole thing is like, I guess NASA didn't say nothing about it. But like, if you look on the website, it says like unfounded. So it's not true, but it's also not false.
They confirm aliens already. So everything they saying is true.
Yeah.
But why come here though? If they can travel through like the space at light speed, we're so far behind them. That's like, what are we gonna? Oh, our resources. Oh, they're gonna kill us. Like they're gonna take like the power out of the Earth's core.
What if?
We all been lied to about the truth behind the times of 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. And I'm about to tell you exactly what the fuck be going on at that time. Let's get into it. Basically, during this time, the veil between our realm and the other higher realms of existence is thinnest at this point, right? Everybody's been told that. But did you know that at this point in your time, if you get woken up, it's called the ambrosial hour. And it's actually a huge energetic boost for all of us that naturally we wake up during the night. Sometimes when our soul, aka our higher self, wants us to use this energy to be in the creator mode of this reality. So if you ever played Minecraft, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's actually a great time for you to be in the purgatory. You're not dead, you're not alive, but you're on the other side. Because Did you not know, friend, that everything that we're doing is a dream right now? Yes! Even when we go to sleep, we think we're sleeping. We're not sleeping. We're actually just back in our original state of nothingness. And we're without a body, so we're without having a human experience. And we are just experiencing life without this vessel. And that's what happens when we're asleep. But when we wake up during those times, we are still in that state because your brain is the map and the gateway to consciousness.
Now, this is scary. It's said, but not proven, that every single Disney princess is supposed to like represent a disorder. Psychologists did a study, and they said in every Disney princess there's a clear disorder that they have. Firstly, Belle was captured and put in a castle. So this is called Stockholm Syndrome, which means you fall in love with your captor. That's why she fell in love with the Beast, because he is the one that captured her. Also, if you notice, Ariel has a big ship, and there's so many things around her, so she's a hoarder, and that's a form of OCD. She has so much like stuff on her ship, but she doesn't throw it away. Another one is Alice, like Alice in Wonderland. She sees caterpillars walking around and imagines a lot of things that aren't there, which is basically schizophrenia. Crazy, right? Elsa and Anna, they're really reckless. Elsa is the cold sister who has a short temper, and Anna is the warm sister that is kind all the time, which is why the sisters are thought to represent bipolar. Did you ever notice this when you watched?
We are living in the Matrix. Imagine this. You're just at the end of your lifespan. You've done everything that you've wanted to do. You close your eyes knowing that your time is up. However, when your eyes open, you find that you're not in heaven or hell, but in the year 3000. With a notification telling you that you've just completed a simulation of the exciting primitive 21st century. You're no longer the age when you passed, but 16 years old, ready to play again. Now, it might be a bit of a stretch, but scientists have spoken out about how this is a very real possibility, and the probability of existing in the real world is almost zero. Just think about how much we've advanced from the day the first video game was released, to games that can be played today in complete virtual reality. It's been proven that everything we experience are just electrical systems to the brain. So what is stopping us from manipulating these signals to allow for infinite possibilities of what we are able to experience? Even though you can watch the full video by clicking on the link in the description, could it be possible that
perhaps you've heard about the Illuminati? We don't intend to spend a whole lot of time on the Illuminati, but just enough to familiarize yourself if you've never heard of the organization. It was founded in 1776 in the south of Germany by a man named Adam Weishaupt. He formulated his plans in relation to the House of Rothschild in England, Germany, France, Italy. The Rothschild banking dynasty behind the governments of Europe hired Adam Weishaupt to formulate a plan for the world at that time to accomplish certain goals for those in power. That plan came to be known as the Illuminati plan. Now, you can find most of this material in any library, any encyclopedia, under the word Illuminati, which comes from obviously the word illumine, to be enlightened, to be in the light. But there's a very important book that I'd like to bring to your attention called Fire in the Minds of Men. It's on the origins of the revolutionary faith. Fire in the Minds of Men, written by James Billington, is a profoundly important book in understanding the revolutionary and radical movements of the world today and how they got here and who finances them and what they're really all about. I'd like to read to you a couple of paragraphs of importance, I think, in dealing with the occult origins of the organizational arrangements, how the occult organizations throughout the world, secret societies, are organized. In it, on page 87, he says, "The story of the secret societies can never be fully reconstructed. and it has been badly neglected, even avoided, one suspects, because of the evidence that is available repeatedly leads us into territory equally uncongenial to modern historians in the East and the West. In what follows, I shall attempt to show that the modern revolutionary tradition as it came to be internationalized under Napoleon, the Restoration, grew out of occult Freemasonry. That the early organizational ideas originated more from Pythagorean mysticism than from practical experience, and that the real innovators were not so much the political activists as literary intellectuals, on whom German Romantic thought in general and the Bavarian Illuminati in particular exerted great influence. Here he was talking about the organization of the Bavarian Illuminati. You can't discuss the Illuminati without understanding the Jesuit order of the Catholic Church, because Adam Weishaupt himself, the founder of the Illuminati, was in fact a Jesuit priest. He was not just an ordinary Jesuit priest, though. In Bavaria, he continued to support revolutionary radical thinking against the church and has given to the world what has come to be known as the revolutionary tradition. May 1st, 1776 is when Adam Weishaupt founded this order, and that's why, of course, in Soviet Union and other communist countries, that May 1st is considered to be the important day to all communist revolutionaries, because Adam Weishaupt founded the Illuminati on May 1st. This you will find, as I said, in any encyclopedia.